Hey everybody, welcome to On the Reels, where we had a real conversation. We say what you and your friends say, but you're actually afraid to say in real life. So today's conversations, it kind of it hits home a little bit harder than normal. With everything that's been going on in the world today, there are some topics that we've decided that we want to touch on, and I hope that these topics make everybody uncomfortable and it makes you think about what's going on. So the first topic that we're going to bring to the table today is going to be depression. Right? Everybody knows what depression is. Everybody knows what depression looks like, or you might not. So just a little help, just to understand what depression is, according to the who is this? The Psychiatric Association. Depression, major depressive disorder, is a common and serious medical illness. All right. This negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. So that's how we're going to start today. We're going to start this show by talking about depression and how it affects us and what we need to do to address this issue. I'm going to open it up by asking Bam to go ahead and start.
Well, as a person who I don't know if I say, yeah, I battle with depression. It might not be as severe as other people, but I have days where I don't even want to. I've had days where I don't even want to get up out of bed. You base, I basically don't feel like myself. Normally, I'm very, very chipper, talkative, depending on who it is. And on those days, you really don't want to get up. Um, I also suffer from anxiety, so you feel me? Like I'm very anxious if it's too many people around me that it almost gets tight, like not like a claustrophobic, but I get real paranoid and I start looking around and shit.
Okay.
Um, I mean, from what I can see, everybody that I know goes through some form of depression, either minor or major. I have not found a way to kind of help this yet, but I'm gonna just keep it real. I smoke. Times like this, I smoke, and normally my smoking is recreational. So if I'm in a mood where I feel like I'm depressed, I light up extra. I mean, it might not help. It might not help other people, but I know it works for me.
Okay. Black man, what you got to add to that?
Well, and again, I'm sorry for the raspy voice, but to piggyback on what Bam is saying, yeah, and especially going along with your definition, depression is common. Now, I ain't gonna front with you, and this is probably ill. This is probably a bad time to say this is probably about as common as the coronavirus is right about now. You know what I mean? Everybody feels some level, some degree of depression, and as Bam alluded to, some might not be on the more horrible or the worst end of the spectrum, but depression is real. And you know when you kind of fear coming outside your house, leaving outside your room. You know what I mean? You couple anxiety along with that feeling. Yeah, that's cause for self destruction. As a matter of fact, it's affected. Now more people are being able to talk about it. So you know what I mean? It literally has affected more people than we could even believe to one degree or another. Now, as far as myself, I have experienced forms of depression. I don't necessarily know if I want to call it depression because I feel like that's an insult to the people that are suffering. But yeah, when you've had those moments where you're like, man, I don't know if I'm coming or going. Long and short of it, I'll be completely honest with y'all. I've been doing the same job for about 13 years. 2 different companies. And I was suspended for a month and a half. That was the first time in my adult life I literally did not have my income. So looking at my girl as she goes to work, I'm sitting in the crib. It's like it's a ridiculous feeling, and I'm not even on front with you. It affects you mentally, physically, sexually, emotionally. You're just like, I don't feel like doing shit because I don't feel like shit. And I guess in a sense it's kind of crazy that we all need that thing to make us feel validated, whether it's a person, an object, or what have you. But without that, yeah, man, depression creeps in real quick as you start to question a lot of things, questioning yourself, which I think is the biggest detriment, because when you start feeling like you can't trust your own self because of how you feel, you're not even sure where to reach out to at that point. And there are a lot of people, I believe, that are suffering in silence from that. But I mean, yeah, man, it's like I said, it's real. It's real for everyone, regardless of who you are. It's real for everyone.
Okay.
I've been in a room full of people. I'm talking 20, 25 people, and it's like they all having the best time of their life. Like, and I'm just looking around, niggas like, bro, I really don't feel a vibe.
Been there,
Like I've
been
wanted
there.
to,
Parties and such
I've,
too.
I've wanted to, like, physically, I want to be there. I want to be enjoying it, but I don't feel a vibe.
Okay.
Like, it's happened to me in a couple of clubs. Like, nigga, I just don't feel a vibe, and it's not because I don't want to be having a good time or I I want to be a Debbie Downer. It's because I was probably going through something and didn't know. A lot of people don't know that they going through this, or they might be afraid to talk about it because of the fact that in our era, you feel me, like people wasn't. If you said you was depressed, niggas looked at you like, "What's wrong?" Like, get out of here. Something wrong with you. You feel me? So
Right.
you
But
just
I
kept it
think
to your
that's
you you. I mean, you just kept it to yourself.
All
but
right.
I think that's also due to the fact that a lot of people don't understand that depression exists on many levels. So some people, it's like one of those situations where if you can walk it off, you ain't dead. You know what I mean? Type situation. And I believe we need to bring more awareness that no, this actually exists on a multitude of degrees. It's
I
not
think
just 10 and 0.
I think now there's more awareness because if you listen to the music of today, most of these artists is talking about drugs, d- doing drugs, not even selling drugs no more. They talking about doing drugs,
Okay.
s- sipping this, sipping that. It's all sad songs. Like a majority of it is sad songs.
Is
But
that
now
why
they
music
felt
today makes me feel depressed?
Okay.
that's
So,
probably why.
all right. So hold on. Before you move on, Scout, before you get in here, because we spoke earlier this week and you said this is one of the topics that hit home. It hits home. It hits a little harder. But before we get on it, these are just some. So these are just some quote unquote symptoms that psychiatric.org has. They say depression symptoms can vary from mild to severe and can include feeling sad or having depressed moods, loss of interest or pleasure in activities once enjoyed, changes in appetite, weight loss or weight gain unrelated to dieting, trouble sleeping or sleeping too much, loss of energy or increased fatigue, increase in physical activity, handwriting or pacing, or even slow movements such as speech, actions that are easily observed by other people. feeling worthless or guilty, difficulty thinking, concentrating or making decisions, thoughts of death or suicide. Now, once again, those are just some of the symptoms that they say people can experience. But as we all know, people experience different things. And I'm one that honestly believes everybody has some mild form of depression, just like everybody has some mild form of ADD or ADHD. But that's another story for another day. Now,
If
once
you were born in the 80s.
right, yeah, if you're born in the 80s, you have ADD and ADHD. That's another
Nice.
story
Thank
for
you, Kendrick Lamar.
right.
Boy.
So Scout,
Mm.
like I said, I spoke to you earlier this week. You actually, you guys might not realize this, but Scout actually called you and said that this topic today hits home in a way
He
that
called me too.
he doesn't think that he can go through and have a normal conversation without letting his emotions truly out. I told Scout, if you can't let your emotions out, then this isn't a conversation that you need to have. So, Scout, go ahead, man. Take the floor. It's yours.
Okay, since I'm the old head of this group, I guess I gotta
You are a
be.
little seasoned.
I guess I gotta be the good guy slash bad guy. I'm gonna go with the bad guy first, cause
Usually the easiest.
nah, that's a lot of my persona. I'm gonna go with the bad guy first, cause the reason why is the way how I grew up is just like every typical black kid in a home or nationality or whatever. Uh, we got told a lot of time that's in your mind and it's gonna stay in your mind, or I'm gonna take it out your ass. No ifs, no ands, no
There
buts.
was some hurt butts.
Oh yeah,
It was
some
it
very
was
hurt buts.
what? It was
And
what?
and my grandfather would tell you very quickly, boy, I'm about to give you some act right because you're trying to act out. Um, don't get me wrong. I understand what depression is. I see it. I understand what the anxiety is. I see it. But growing up in a military household and then being in the military myself, a lot of times I let my mindset not think of the way how what's going in front of me. It's going to jump to, you need to suck that shit up and carry on. We ain't got time
Mm,
for that because that's what I got told plenty of times of, hey, either you straighten yourself out or I'm going to straighten you out. No ifs, ands,
yeah,
or buts in betweens. That's how it was. And I know a lot of times that I can be quick to jump, quick to judge. And then I say my lovely catchphrase is shit, goddamn, I can't stop that shit. Because the honest given truth is the way how I was raised in my adult life, especially being in the army the way how I was in the job that I did, you couldn't do that. That is not an option. That is a mission fail. That is a no-go. That's an unsat. That meant you broken. And in my job, you couldn't be broken because they ain't gonna send you. They're gonna send you home until you have a nice day. But as I've gotten older and I've seen it more, and especially now that I have to deal with it a lot more, the compassion side has came into this is a problem. A lot of people have fear, doubt, don't recognize, undereducated, or just straight out fear to say anything to anyone because the way how they get looked at, perceived, or just tolerated in any type of family setting, friend, whatever you may have. And I'll be the first one to say, you goddamn right. I've been one of them individuals. Man, if you don't check your motherfucking self, I'll knock the shit out you. Yeah, I sure have. I've been one of them real quick. But at the end of the day, you got to start realizing it's not that person's fault. You can't look at the situation as that they going from 0 to 60 real quick. And you have to take it for what it's worth. Some of the stuff they can't control. But like I said, once again, it's just the way how I was raised. It was like, shit, you ain't gonna stay in that bed all day. Don't give a damn. If you fucked up and sad, we got yard work to do and shit to get happen. So if you don't make it happen, shit, I did my time. You gonna do yours. That's how it was. Plain and simple. And I'm one to tell you, yeah, I've did my kids like that. So have. Buddy, if my feet are on the ground and I'm up and moving, guess what? It ain't no sleep. I don't give a damn. You 8 years old, get your ass up. It's shit to do. It's 24 hours in a day, and we gonna use all them motherfuckers. I don't give a damn. You happy, sad, giddy up, you lucky. You can feel like mildew on your ass. You get the fuck up and do something. But the more and more you think of it now, though, that's wrong. You should try to help them. And a lot of times, it's not being, like Bam said, a Debbie Downer. You cannot downplay this. And like I said, I fully admit, yeah, shit, because that's the first thing come out my mouth. But shit, shut the fuck, woo, no.
Okay, so we all know that. I won't say we all know. I take that back. We're all in. It sounds like we're all in agreement that depression is a real thing, and it affects people differently. So, according to beyondblue.org.au, a couple different factors for depression, and we're just going to look at personal factors. There is family history, personality, medical illness, and drug and alcohol use. And they're saying this is just over in Australia. But as African Americans, as males, what do you guys feel we have to do to bring awareness to this for our culture? Because as you all are aware, we don't go to the doctor. We don't talk to nobody. There's nobody to talk to. There's nobody who will be able to tell us anything.
Hell no.
So in order to bring awareness to this, so we can actually move forward and have the knowledge that this is a real issue in our culture, what do we do?
Tell niggas stop being a bitch.
I mean, well, you
Oh
can't.
my God.
Okay,
Oh
we
my
can't.
We
do that.
can't do
No. You guys are missing what I'm saying.
Right.
Not
Explain.
the person.
Go ahead, explain it.
I'm not saying tell the person suffering to stop being a bitch. I'm tell the people who can help the suffering stop being a bitch and help where it's needed.
So, black man.
I got a better way to say that.
Hold on, Scout.
I know there's probably a better way to say. I usually don't say things properly, but
black man, hold on. Go into a little bit more detail about that. What do you mean by telling the quote unquote help?
Just said
Stop
being a bitch.
I mean, think about it. I just look at it in this perspective. It takes a lot of strength for a person to admit that they have a problem, correct?
Facts.
I think it takes even more strength to actually help a person that's telling you they have a problem.
Facts.
So, to the people who should be helping these people, what I mean is, there's somebody you know that potentially could be suffering from this. They've exhibited the behaviors, some of which you named off, and it's already been questionable in your mind. So what I'm saying is, stop being a bitch and just open your mouth and be like, "Yo, are you okay? Like seriously, are you all right? Is there something you want to talk about? Not that I'm forcing you, just the aura around you seems to be traveling in a different direction. So I don't want to pry into your business, but at the same time, understand if you want me to pry into your business, I'll be a crowbar. You know what I mean? You can talk to me. I'm willing to listen. I'm not too caught up in the thought that we supposed to be stone cold. I'm not too caught up in that mentality to the point where I can't say, hey, I'm here to listen.
Okay, I get you, because I'm one who, and I'll be honest, bro. I lost my younger brother. I'll say 5 or 10 years ago. No, 5 years ago I lost my younger brother. 10 years ago, my older brother was in a motorcycle accident. I wasn't right. I'm still not right. My family feels that I need to go talk to somebody. They're like, you need to talk to a therapist. Why the fuck do I need to go talk to somebody and sit on their couch for them to tell me that I have problems? I fucking know I have problems. You can't tell me shit that I already know, but at the same time, I'll go talk to somebody that I hang out with who knows me personally and won't judge me. Now, I mean, like, I know if I go see a therapist or a psychologist, whatever it may be, I understand what your job is. You're there to try to pick and pry with what I'm telling you to try to get to the root cause. Fucker, I came here and I knew what the root cause was. My younger brother passed, and I'm still dealing with that shit. But I went to work the next motherfucking day and the next week. No time off to grieve. Nigga, I just went back to it. Older brother got into a motorcycle accident. No time off. No time to grieve. No time to get my mind right. Just went back into it. So don't fucking tell me what. Well, you need to talk to somebody. You need to take time off to grieve. As as a man, as a black male, what the fuck is time off to grieve? Y'all dig what I'm saying? Like,
But does anybody want his time off to grieve?
right,
No, but you
but we don't have that luxury to say, okay, this happened. I need to take time off. I need 3 weeks or I need a month off so I can come back and be clear and be able to move forward. We don't get that luxury because we have to be the provider. We have to be strong. We have to put that strong front on. And not like Bam said, I know I deal with depression. I fucking know this better than anybody else. But what do? I get the fuck up and fake the funk. God damn it, there are
boy,
where you motherfuckers will probably never know that I'm sitting over here crying and shit on the mic, or there's something seriously going on. I just found out that recently I lost another cook in my unit. Went from 5 cooks down to 4. So now I have to deal with that. So there are things that, once again, especially for our culture, that we need to do to get right. Yeah, I agree. We need people to talk to. But who do we go talk to when the people that they're telling us to go talk to are really just judging us and telling us what we already need? Bam, I do believe you started to say something. Sorry for cutting you
I
off.
I
But
echo I echo your same sentiment because I be feeling like that too. I'm not going to pay you money. I don't care if it's coming out of my pocket or if my insurance is taking care of it. I'm not going to pay you money for an hour of you telling me, well, what I already know. But here's what we got to stop doing too. When we go sit on these couches, we got to stop expecting them to tell us what we already know, because their job is to really tell us how to do. Well, not tell us, but give us better ways to deal with this. And even though I've never been, well, it's been a minute since I've been in the therapist's office because I was court ordered to go to one at like 12 years old. But yeah, they're supposed to give us tools on how to deal with the problems that we having. Now, us as black men, and especially in this society, we got pride, and a lot of times your pride is the one that eats away at you. So you gotta decide, do you want the help? Even if it's just a little bit. Like, cause I'm like you, Ree. It's been a lot of times where people call my phone 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I see niggas calling. I just don't want to deal with nobody right now. That's one of them days. That's one of them days. But I know I have to get out of that habit. You feel me?
Right.
Because I got people around me that might be going through something and they need my help or my attention, and I can't really give it to them at the proper moment. And when I can't help the people around me and the people that I'm supposed to quote unquote love and pay attention to, you feel me? That do something to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole situation right now. I'm 8 states away from where I actually should be right now, helping a particular person, and I can't get to. I I can't get to them. You feel me?
No, I got you.
So right now, that's fucking me up. But
Okay.
I gotta I gotta know that as soon as I'm able to figure certain things out, then certain things will be handled. Until then, I just gotta keep it. I gotta keep it moving.
Right. Right.
That's it.
Scout, you have anything to add? You sitting there twisting your face up like
Eh,
a whole lot to go
eh. It's
Lay it
like
on
I was
us.
saying before. I understand, but the way how my mindset is and how I work things is for me, and I can only just speak for me. I can't let certain things that I cannot handle get to me. You know, because I got taught at an early age, pain and everything else is in your mind. You go somewhere else and not feel pain, or you can step outside that situation and the same pain that you was going to flip it and make it a success. Like I have been driven by nothing of nothing short, but can't ain't in my vocabulary. Will not do is not in my vocabulary. And failure is not a motherfucking option on any fucking front. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, it is not a fucking option. That shit's gone. And I see my friends, my loved ones and stuff going through stuff like this. And for me, standing there looking, I'm like, well, if you would just stop freaking out for a minute and just fucking think, you can get a solution. Not really sitting there thinking of, damn, they going through hell. You know what I'm saying? They going through hell. Their mind is messed up. They going through hell. I'm more looking at them like, stop bitching. Think of a solution and go execute that shit. That's just how my mindset is. And like I said before, it's wrong. That's wrong. And the point which you were saying what we should do as a culture and what as a people, it starts with self education. Stop blocking out, denying, whatever the hell you want to call it, that says this stuff does not exist. That's one. And then stop the also thing that goes with one is this. As a people, we didn't put so much daggone pressure and a title on us. It don't make no damn sense. I understand the whole slavery part. I understand all of that. And I ain't saying no one who actually went through that back in the day or anything else. I'm not saying that it was right. I never say that. But honest and given truth, ever since that shit went on, it's like we have to overachieve, never be settled, and we have to be harder on us as a people than anybody else. And that's ridiculous. For what? We all got them friends that we know their parents don't give a damn as long as they walk across the high school stage and graduate. They don't gotta go to college a day in their life. But look at our household. Buddy, if you don't have a god doggone degree, you can't talk at family reunion. Nah, you set the hell over there. Shut up. Grown folks talking, as we say. And it's ridiculous. We put so much pressure on each one of us as like one of the old school sayings is, you always gotta have a hustle. What you doing with your life? Okay. And the other thing what kills us as a people is this. Instead of trying to live inside your means and help what you can help, we're trying to live way the hell outside our means and don't know the realm over there. And that's where we get messed up at. Instead of trying to help each other and whatever else, we like a barrel of crabs. We'll keep pulling each other this way, pulling each other that way. One or two may get out. But why not do like other cultures do? Keep building up as a people. Keep educating. That's where the things fall short. And a lot of the stuff we can't blame on us because it's the way how the cards was dealt and the people that was holding all the trump cards. I'll say it. They set up in nice fancy suits. They got that old school money. They sit on Capitol Hill. They make all these rules or whatever else. But they don't think about what area does them rules actually affect.
Yeah.
And what actually does it cause? If we figured that out a long time ago and actually would have stayed inside our means and keep teaching each other and keep pulling each other, we wouldn't be having these type of conversations. But look at it. Us as a people, we'll get jealous if we see somebody else in a better car, got better clothes on, or have a better job. It ain't that them people are better than us. It's the fact is us as a people don't want to go out to get what they got. As simple as
Hashtag
that.
stop being a bitch.
As simple as that. It's the same way with this disease. Everybody else want to educate, go through history, this. But we as a people is too damn gonna stubborn even to go to the doctor. Hell, I know I do it myself. But like how Bam said, we need to stop doing all that. Why not go and get educated? Get the help you need. Maybe you can show somebody else in your family, hey, they showed me this, and this is what's going on. You know, this is what it is. But instead, we like, oh, nah, we put some old staff on it, old home remedy, something like that. Keep it moving.
So I encourage you all when you get a moment, whatever it may be, listen to Lupe Fiasco's All Black Everything.
Yes, sir.
Right? When you do get a chance, listen to that. And it's a good song, it's a great song. It's his vision of what we could have been. Right? This is if everything went the way that it should have been, this is what we should have been. But going back to it, it is hard for us and for our culture. Because like you said, man, even with this COVID thing, we don't have access to the healthcare that we need. We don't have access to the facilities that we need. We don't have access to the supplies that we need. And it's been engraved and instilled in us that we don't have to go to the doctor. It's not important. Are you bleeding? Nope, you don't need to go to the doctor. Shut up, throw some dirt on it, take aspirin, you'll be fine. But with something as important as depression and mental illness, we have to take another step. And we understand that we have to take another step. We understand that we have to engage everyone in a way that they know that everybody is dealing with depression in some way, shape, or form. So one of the definitions, or from once again from beyondblue.org.au, it says personal factors cause or not cause but are a part of this. Family history. Depression can run families. So just think about that. Depressions can run in families, and some people will be at an increased genetic risk.
Mhm.
An increased genetic risk because this runs in your family. This is part of your family history. Your personality also plays a part in this. Um, some people may be at risk of depression because of their personality, particularly if they have a tendency to worry a lot, have low self-esteem, are perfectionists. I know they say Virgos are perfectionists. Yes, we fucking are. Shit has to go right. But if you're a perfectionist, even if you're sensitive to personal criticism or are self-critical and negative, so just with those two things in general, understanding that, it's almost, we can almost say that our culture are Virgos in the sense, if you believe in the zodiac, if you follow it, we're so critical, we're so not overly sensitive, but everything that we do, we criticize ourselves on. We do the right thing, damn, we should have took our time. We do the wrong thing, damn, we should have did more. We overanalyze everything that we do, and we don't allow ourselves to really learn from these situations. So I actually,
But that comes from the people that came before us. We saw the mistakes that they made, so
right, but
we
we're
as the next generation coming up, I gotta be better than what came before me.
but
I
we're
know for me, I overthink a lot. You see, when I start getting in my head, even if I feel like what I did was, even if I'm doing something and I feel like what I did is correct, if I even get in my head for a second, I'm scrapping the whole thing and we going back to the drawing board because it gotta be right.
you're right, it does. But as a culture, as how do we say we need to stop and figure this out so that we're all on the same page? Because I believe we're all in agreement that depression is fucked up and it's affecting our culture more than others. But how do we come to an agreement and say this is what we need to work on so we can move forward, so the generational knowledge that we now have, we could pass it down and they could build on that, so they won't have to worry as much.
Part of the reason we still going through this as a culture, as a people, or whatever, is two words. We don't say anything. You gotta say something. If you feel like if you feel like you if you feel like you having a moment where you're not feeling like yourself, I don't care if it's rich, poor. You feel me? You could be in the biggest house because I done heard about I done heard about rich people in different tax brackets. They have all the money in the world, but they so by themselves. And that's because the more money you get,
No
the
problem.
more problems there is.
Yep.
You gotta worry about who's there for the right reasons. It's often more mouths to feed, so you gotta keep working. You you get no breaks. So if something happened, you can't really grieve. We also need to take time out for ourselves.
Yeah.
Learn how to say, "Look, I'm going through something right now." Even if it's a 5 minute, you might need a 5 minute. If you need more than 5 minutes, and you feel like you can get 5 minutes, especially if you's a working man and you put your time in, and you know you got a couple vacation days, don't be afraid to take those. Because if if you if you succumb to whatever you're going through, you know what I mean. Who go, who's gonna make the money for you? We we so worried about taking care of everybody else that who takes care of us? I
I
got
think I'm
somebody.
really gonna start the Stop Being a Bitch campaign. I really do.
I mean, it's
Only because it's not even to say it in a negative sense. It's just like when I say stop being a bitch, I say that as to break down whatever the barrier between you and whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Like what I mean by that is, okay, if you have depression, if you're suffering from depression, stop being a bitch. Tell somebody about it. Stop thinking that it's weak to ask for help. That's actually a sign of strength because you're admitting where your shortcomings are. As far as the question of how do we as a culture explain this, as a culture, we need to stop being a bitch and stop acting like this is a sign of weakness. Whether you reach out to help or you're going through it, it's not a sign of weakness. Whatever stops you from doing A or B, reaching out or speaking out, that thing that's stopping you, in a sense, is you being a bitch. Stop that. Cut that out. And I know that sounds really horrible. I know we had another topic that we had spoke off camera a week or two ago, and this is what I mean when I say what I'm going to say is going to sound mean. The actual message is nice. It's actually a message of inclusion, but it's not going to come out right because I'm 34. My grandparents are still alive, at least on my mom's side. My grandparents are still alive and kicking. So when my grandfather says, "Man the hell up," it's not man the hell up and fight through it. If you need to talk to somebody about it, man the hell up and do it. If you know somebody that needs help and you are afraid because you're afraid of how it might make them feel, or you don't want to be seen as that sensitive guy that goes around basically trying to give everybody a hug, man the hell up and do it because it needs to be done. You know what I mean? It's some sort of an image and a perception, I think, for our culture at least, that stops us from doing a lot of the shit that we need to do. But that image, that perception is really you being a bitch because you're not being true to yourself. You're trying to emulate or to be what you're not. That's what bitches do. I'm sorry. That's what they do.
all right. I get you. I get
Yeah,
what
this
I,
don't
I,
sound nice. So this is hard to say this
I,
to someone
I
who's suffering, and I
promise.
know that.
right.
I
My
promise
But
you, this is what people are. That right there, that stop being a bitch shit, is what people are gonna remember from this. They're not gonna hear shit we just said. They
yes, sir.
just gonna.
I
They gonna. I'm telling you.
I will. I'll disagree
oh,
with.
I know that. That's why I'm saying I wish we could tag on the video. Fair warning. This ain't gonna sound right, but just listen. Just listen through it. There's love behind it.
Now, I will.
I'm.
I'll disagree with both of you guys there because I do feel and believe that people will take it to heart if this is an issue that they care about, and most people do, but most people
Yeah.
don't know how to go about it. But I do want to move. I do want to move the conversation along. Unless Scout, you have anything to add on to it?
No, sir. Go right ahead on the next topic. Go right
Okay,
ahead.
Can
so
I interject one thing before we move on?
go ahead.
For all of my nerds who will be watching this, for all of my nerds who will be watching this, I'm gonna make a Naruto reference. I
This is.
apologize if you've
This is
never seen
gonna.
the show.
This is gonna go somewhere else.
But Rhea, I know you've seen the show.
Yeah,
I love it. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay, Scout, you've seen the show. Okay. So y'all understand chakra, that energy that all of the shinobi manipulate. The original purpose of it was to connect people. It wasn't to weaponize it, right?
Right.
Okay. So if the purpose of chakra was to link everybody, y'all remember when Pain destroyed the Leaf Village? What
Yeah.
did he say to Naruto? We can relate now. Now you know pain. You know what I feel. Now we're on the same level. As a community, if we don't share our pain with each other, how are we ever going to connect?
Ooh. Ooh.
It's really weird that I can pull that from a cartoon.
No, but here's the
An
thing.
anime, I'm sorry. Oh my God, Father, forgive me.
No.
An anime. I apologize.
Said that
No, but animes and cartoons and such have jewels in them.
so
Oh, I'll find them. Trust me. I study cartoons. I will find the moral in it. That's just what I do.
like
But
you said that
yeah,
I just got chills going down my spine because you're right 100% on that. If we don't find a way to unite and understand what's going on, we'll never be able to move forward. We'll never be able to take that next step to being where we deserve to be. I agree with that 100% wholeheartedly.
no.
I don't give a shit if anybody says they don't agree with it. Fuck you, you're wrong. But to move
You gonna tell a nigga